All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to take your these sketchbooks, and we're going to be making a cover for them like this, and you will actually be gluing the first part of this together. So this is the beginning video for how to make the cover to go for your sketchbooks. In order to make the cover for your sketchbooks, you need 2 pieces of fabric. One is small and white, and this is part of your binding. And the other one is large for the cover. It doesn't matter what color you use, and I have a variety of different colors. You will also need 2 boards that are big like this. They're 8.5 by 7.5, and I've pre-cut them. And then you need one teeny little board like this that's 8.5 by 5. Or 0.5, and it's for the spine, so that's your spine board. And then you need Yes Paste. Yes Paste is sort of like a glue stick, but it's just a tub of glue. And it's really great for paper. It keeps it from wrinkling, and it's also archival, which means it won't yellow over time. So we're going to be using that. You will need to have a little cup of water, not a lot, but just enough to get your brush wet and to mix with the Yes Paste. You need a popsicle stick and a little cup to scoop the Yes Paste into, and then you're going to need a big piece of poo-poo paper so that you don't glue everything down to the table, and you'll be able to move stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. So first we're going to lay out our poo-poo paper, and let me zoom out a little bit so you can see everything. All right, so we lay out our poo-poo paper, and we're going to scoop out the Yes Paste and get a couple of blobs. Try to scoop from the side so that it will kind of harden evenly, but we'll get it like this. Now you'll notice that it's really thick, and it's going to be hard to spread at this consistency, which is why we're going to add a little bit of water to it. So we'll just doop a tiny bit of water, not a lot, and then you use your popsicle stick to mix it around. Okay, and this will help it to flow a little bit better as you're using it. Now, because we're using our paintbrushes on glue, you've got to be really careful that you wash the paintbrush after you use it with soap, otherwise it will be a stick. For this, the paintbrushes that you're using, use a flat brush, but choose the nastiest flat brush you can find that still has a little bit of bend to it. You're looking at it and you're thinking, this thing is gross. Nobody's going to want to use it on their painting. This is the job for it, because if they get ruined doing this, it won't matter too much, and also it'll be fine for the purpose that we're using it for, right? So that should be okay. All right, we'll see if this is enough. If it's not enough, we'll make some more, but you just want it to be nice and kind of runny and fluidy like that. All right, next, get our area set up. I'm going to spread out my fabric like this, and then I'm going to start by laying out my pieces to make sure that there's enough space around them. Now, it doesn't have to be perfectly in the center, but you do want to make sure that you have enough space to wrap the fabric around the outside, because that's what we will be doing when we're making the book. So you'll need to fold it over like this, and then fold it over like this, and you have to have enough space to do that. So you want to make sure that you start with enough space around, and I cut the fabric so that it would be right. All right, so this is going to fit nice, so I'm going to move these 2 so that they don't get dirty. Bring the glue over, and you have to do this kind of quickly. You don't need a lot of glue, but you do need a lot of coverage. Okay, my brush is wet because I washed it before I brought it over. If yours is not wet, just dip it in your water a little. It shouldn't be sopping wet. If the Yes Paste gets too wet, it will just bleed through the fabric and it gets yucky. But see how nice that's going on. Okay, just like that. Very good. And then before it dries, flip it over, making sure that it's in this right area. And I'm just spreading it out, making sure that the glue adheres. And then I'm going to do this little middle guy Okay, and he shouldn't be, when we place him, he doesn't need to be right next to the cover, but he needs to be kind of close. So we'll go like that and leave a little bit of a gap so that there's a hinge, but we need them to line up, right? So that the top and the bottom are at the same place. Okay, just like that. And then let's go ahead and do this one. Okay. Just spreading it around. Do 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 do. Okay, make sure that it's evenly coated but not real thick. Done. And then we'll put it right next to the other one in line with the first one, making sure that there's enough space. We want these guys to be even. There we go. All right, now our last little guy is this, and he's the last little piece for today, and he's going to go right here. Now we're only going to put glue on the sides right here. You're not going to put glue on the binding because this will actually be glued to the spine here. It helps this to stay together, okay? So what we do is we'll go in here and paint a little strip about that wide. Okay, try not to get it too wide. It's okay if it doesn't get glued all the way down, just so long as there's a big amount here and a big amount here, because there's stuff that goes over it when we do the inside cover. Okay. All right, there we go. It's just about the perfect amount of yes paste. Uh-oh. But it looks like I got some overspray. That'll be okay. All right, so we're doing this. That's great. Now, when it's like this, you can see that it's kind of bowed because this is wet. What you're going to need to do is keep it on its poo-poo paper, and you'll put a piece of shiny paper over the top of it, and we will let it set overnight under some books.